area. Now this project is not taken up because there is also a worry that this may reduce the flows to Polavaram project. That's the reason why they are not giving adequate importance to Polavaram project. So the ongoing Jalayagnam project central concern is to divert Godavari water to coastal Andhra and Krishna water to the Rayalaseema region without any substantial program or project for the development of irrigation facilities in Telangana. So this is the objective. Obviously within this framework they cannot really focus attention on Pranayika and Egamati project, and that project is not given adequate importance because. And it is in spite of this major hesitation, in spite of all this protest, the government is not giving any consideration to this project because. So this again, there are many such instances which you can explain, through which you can explain the kind of discrimination that Telangana faces.
One last question.
Here. I have a question. My last question. We have questions here.
Thank you, sir, for your suggestion. At least we'll first to discuss the real things between the students with respect to our places. But I want to ask a question. Recently, the movement how it is happening in Andhra Pradesh. If you think that when students are taking participation in strikes and movements, but if you think in Usman University and the other campus in Andhra and Rayalaseema, it's almost we are giving movement to the local leaders or political leaders like TRS and other things. But somehow it is wasting the students' education and almost 1 year career as lost to students in Usman University. So as a professor and as a student, how will you suggest that so that it should not take into the leaders' hands? Only we should, because basically we have started with students. The movement was started among the students by students and by education. But if you see that in all universities, almost Andhra, Rayalaseema and Telangana, now we have given all the movement to, we have put in leaders' hands. So, can we change this process?
My question is more about the identity you are talking about, sir. When we first got independence, we had a new identity, and so every citizen has shared a common vision. And it won up over time. After 30-40 years, we are complement again. From what I understood from your talk series, you are envisaging a similar kind of identity for Telangana. By calling it a new state, you are trying to give every citizen of Telangana a new identity which they will work for. But would you guarantee that it won't go on in the same way it won up for the India or for Andhra Pradesh? After 30-40 years, what people become complacent again? What the power goes to the same few majority who are exploiting natural resources? Because I don't think politicians in Telangana will be different from the ones elsewhere. They are same everywhere. So it's like just like creating a new identity. Then again you need to become competent, you want to bring it into further parts so that you will new identity again to people. How long will this continue?
Thank you for a very illuminating talk. Someone, a lay person like me who just read about it in the newspapers, it was very interesting, an historical account. One of my questions is, now about 60 years you have the larger Andhra Pradesh, and if you suppose become Telangana and coastal Rayalaseema, clearly there are development processes where things are interconnected. When Hyderabad goes with Telangana, the IIT goes with Telangana, and so on and so forth. So how will it affect the other two regions that get split apart if you have interconnected things? And one aspect is what he picked up is, how can you ensure that your politicians in Telangana are going to be any better than the others? And the last thing is, I see only men here, and what is the role of women in this? And
related.
I'm not going to be discussed. is found. Sir, many thanks for letting us know very interesting points this evening. Sir, as you mentioned that some motives and gentlemen agreement have been abolished. Is there any proofs for those agreements? If at all there, why don't we climb in the courts? Climb in the courts. That is one thing. The second thing is, you mentioned SSL has included a law after a separate schedule has been made. Then, what about the Jharkhand, which has seen a political instability, which has seen 8 CMs in 10 years and 2 presidential rules? And the third thing is, you mentioned the last point, you mentioned that the irrigation is heavy, costly in Telangana region. So what about the irrigation capability in Rayalaseema region? So I think your concern is more about the multi-rules and gentleman agreement, that means the rights of the Telangana people which have been abolished by the Andhra region. So why don't you strive for getting those back, other than the state, separate state?
PV Narasimha.
As far as the recovery of these rights is concerned, it is not easy. The Constitution has been amended and all those guarantees have been completely removed from the Constitution and abolished completely. So therefore, recovering those rights is not possible at all, number one. Number two, people have lost faith, that they would be ever be implemented. They've lost faith in these arrangements, these institutional mechanisms, because they are not workable enough. They've been failed completely and they would not be implemented enough. So people feel that, separation is the only way out of this crisis. Now then, the second important question is, what if politicians also behave in the same fashion? What do we do if the politicians behave in the same fashion? Now the question is, the movement itself is trying to strengthen the civil society initiative, which has not happened at all in the Telangana. Now remember, as far as Telangana is concerned, the political space has been completely destroyed. After the 1969 movement, a massive Naxalbari movement has emerged. This Naxalbari movement has emerged. This has emerged because they had no faith in the political institutions at all. They never thought that they would be able to get things done through the political institutions. And therefore they wanted to mobilize people, fight for their rights, even overthrow the feudal laws in the villages. So that was the fight. In the name of eliminating these Naxalites, they started completely destroying the political institutions at the village level. Gram Panchayat and all political institutions at the village level have been completely destroyed. Only the police and the military. That's the kind of an institution. After the Telangana movement emerged, a new